Hello, this is Kent Philpott again. This is part 2 in our series on Wicca. And in part 2, we're going to look at generalized statements from proponents of Wicca. I'm going to try to refrain from bringing any examination at this point, but I might make a word or two. But I want to give as clear a picture of Wicca as possible from those people who are proponents of it. If you use magic energies, they may just help you stay clear-headed and focused. Powers are of special blessing that we have, all have. Some witches believe that their powers come from the goddess. Wherever they come from, just know that you have them. If you open your heart and mind, you can use your powers, and the more you work with them, the better, the more powerful you become. Notice the emphasis on personal power. Next one. The abilities you have are natural and inborn, so there's no reason to be frightened of them. Soon you will come to rely on them. A very fascinating statement. They want to distance themselves from the idea that the powers they have any evil or dangerous connotation. But other Wiccans are just exactly the opposite. Say, what are we fooling around for? We're really talking about black magic here, not neutral or natural magic at all. We're really, come on, let's admit it. We're dealing with the dark side. We're really dealing with, the evil one himself. And so you find this disparity amongst Wiccan teachers and writers. Some just want to shy away from the idea there's anything nasty to encounter. Next thing. Nature is neither good nor evil. It just is. Wicca is often compared to Native American beliefs and traditions. Witches recognize that it is in our best interest to keep the earth healthy and vital. While many religions have a holy book, our book is the earth itself and all of her creatures. Next one. The goddess and god will take notice of your attention to him through rituals and their being honored, and your spells will soar. Next, Wiccans believe that the goddess is in everything and is not some force standing out there watching us. In the faith of Wicca, we believe in deity, the all. We divide that into a male and female spirituality, the god and the goddess, or the lord and lady. That, by the way, is from Wicca and Witchcraft by Zimmerman and Gleason. Wiccans also work with the demigods, who are different, smaller aspects of the all. And, of course, I have a different opinion about who those entities are. Next, Wiccans are not anti-Christian, nor do they harbor negative feelings about other religions. Well, in what I read and saw, I would doubt the veracity of that statement. I think it's a good PR point, but I don't think there's much truth to it. Next point. Wiccans believe in the morals that are common to most faiths, but Wiccans do not believe in the Christian concept of original sin. Wiccans live in the now. While some Wiccans believe in reincarnation, life is to be lived for what it is in the present so that we may learn from this lifetime on earth. As Wiccans, we do not deny ourselves pleasure or put up with unnecessary pain. We believe that we all have a job to do, or a lesson to learn, or maybe a debt to pay from the last lifetime. Once we have succeeded in our mission, we must move on to the Summerland, that's our version of heaven, where we can reflect and choose our mission in the next life, or perhaps choose not to reincarnate and rather work as spirit guides. Next point. While Wiccans do not believe there is a hell to punish sinners, they do believe there is a universal law called karma. Witches know that whatever energy or actions they send out, whether negative or positive, will come back to them threefold. Next point. If you send out positive energies, you will get positive energies in return. The central principle of Wicca is the Wiccan Rede. It's R-E-D-E. Frankly, I don't know how to pronounce it. But that is, and it harm none, do what ye will. Next point. Witches do believe in God, the pure energy of the all, of the God and Goddess Most High. Witches do not believe in Satan. That's what some of them say. It is often prudent not to openly broadcast your status as a witch. Spirituality is, after all, a personal affair. If friends are curious, answer their questions honestly, but stress the positive aspects of your religion. Harm none. Live as though the earth and all its inhabitants are sacred. Strive toward the positive. Wiccans believe that all spiritual paths lead to the same house, union with the divine. Perhaps in our search for tolerance, harmony, peace, and freedom of spirit, by the end of this millennium, all the major religions will have broken down and merged together into one gentle and magical, earth-centered faith. I'm going to go right on to part 3 in my essay that I prepared for this, and this has to do with the Wiccan deities, or the gods and goddesses. 1. In Wicca, the divine or deity is greater than creation, and yet it is creation. Deity or the divine is immanent in all things, but it is also distant and beyond grasp. Next point. In Wiccan thought, the union of the goddess and the god creates the universe. The goddess is the god's mother and lover. In the mythos of most Wiccans, the goddess gives birth to the god, he matures, they make love, and she becomes pregnant, he dies, and he is reborn of her again. The god's existence is cyclical like the grains. Oddly enough, this follows somewhat but a twisted and counterfeit scenario or paradigm that we find in Christianity. The virgin birth. God the Son is born of Mary, who lives and dies and ascends to heaven. Different, but you can see some of the same central ideas, but twisted, as I say. Communicating directly with the god and goddess is one of the greatest joys and responsibilities of a Wiccan. Many Wiccans have personal patron deities, in addition to the god and goddess, with whom they work frequently. The Celtic, Greek, Roman, Norse, and Egyptian gods are probably the most popular amongst Wiccans. In addition to the god and goddesses, a Wiccan may be involved with any number of other worldly entities. There are, in addition to the personal deities, the animal familiars, the dead ancestors, gnomes, elves, fairies, pixies, and so on. It seems that there are any number of spiritual entities, not all of the good kind, that hover around Wicca and are involved in casting the spells and conducting the rituals. Next point. There are 2 types of Wiccan animal familiars. The disincarnate, spirits in animal form, and incarnate spirits indwelling living pets or other animals. So if you have a pet, one of those animal spirits could possess that animal. Discarnate, or not embody animal familiars, that means they are animals that you encounter in trance work that look like animals, but they're not really there in flesh and blood, so they're discarnate, not in flesh. So discarnate animal familiars or spirits serve as guides and helpers when you go on the journeys, when you're on these trances, sometimes may be called astral projection. Many Wiccans work with animal spirits, but some do not. In the accounts of the witch trials, there are stories of animal familiars, hard word to pronounce, most of which were said by the witches' accusers to be demons in animal form. Proponents, which I would agree with, proponents of Wiccan strongly believe the animal familiars are not demons. A Wiccan chooses the animal spirits to work with, but it is said that sometimes the animal familiar does the choosing. All right, that's the end of the second one, and I'll be starting again on the third one.